Hey everyone, Ashley Bogach Hollister here, founder of Team Sparkle and Sweat, and I am so excited to be talking to you guys today about one of the most important parts of our plans, and that is the nutrition aspect behind it. So before I get started, I want to let you guys know, bear with me, this video is going to be a little bit longer, and the reason behind that is, guys, nutrition is so key to getting the results that you're looking for, right? In the email you received today, it said that, you can't out-exercise a bad diet. And guys, it's so true. If you're putting in that hard work and you're working out every single day, even if it's only for 30 minutes a day, you're not going to want to blow your results by not eating right. And so today I'm going to go over our meal plans, our nutrition guides, give you guys an inside look into our portion control container system, and kind of delete all the things you've been told and tell you guys the truth about nutrition. So let's get started. So yesterday I went over how to access your Beachbody On Demand platform. I showed you guys how to pick a program that's going to work for you, as well as access the meal guide for that program. And I will urge you guys that regardless of what program you're doing, you need to follow the meal plan that goes with that program, right? I know for a lot of us, you guys received the Portion Fix system. And guys, this is a great system to follow. However, these nutrition plans were created by dietitians and nutritionists from around the world. So this is not something I threw together. This is something that nutritionists looked into our workout plans and said, you know what, you're working out this much, so this is what you need to be eating. So if you guys have any questions about accessing your meal plans or your meal guides, please refer back to the email that I sent you guys yesterday, or feel free to send me a message so I can show you guys how to do that. So once you pick your program and you figure out which meal plan you should be following, you're going to want to print out that meal plan. For me, I have purchased several of the programs individually, so I have the books that go with them. But guys, you are able to print out this entire book, right? Which I showed you guys again yesterday. This book, or the meal guide that you print out, regardless of which program you're doing, whether it's 21 Day Fix or Shift Shop or 22 Minute Hardcore or P90X, whichever program you're doing, print out the meal guide, guys, because you're going to want to have this available for you week to week so you can refer back to it to make sure that you're eating the right things. And guys, you are going to want to read through these meal guides, right? It provides you all of the nutrition facts that you need, right? So I'm going to go over exactly how it works. So when you open up your meal guides, it's going to give you a breakdown of the containers, which I am going to go over in a little bit. It does show you how to figure out which calorie bracket you're in. So I know for a lot of people, myself included, I came from a background of counting calories. And the amazing thing about these programs is that instead of counting calories, you're now going to learn how to count containers. So you're going to think of your food as the containers that they belong to. It takes the guesswork out. It makes things super, super easy. And I promise you guys that if you follow these meal plans to the T, you are going to see results and you are going to be blown away by your results. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to calculate to see which calorie bracket you should be in, right? This is based off of your weight, off of, some of them base it off of like what you do. So if you're super active or if you have a desk job, figure it out based off of how it tells you, right? Each book is specific for that program, and it's going to show you, it's going to give you a calculator on how to figure out which bracket you're in. From there, you're going to find the page that breaks down the calorie brackets for you. Okay, so it's going to break down the calorie brackets for you. So as you guys can see, if you fall into this first category, you're going to be eating 3 green containers a day, 2 purple containers a day, 4 reds a day, 2 yellows a day, 1 blue a day, 1 orange a day, and then 2 teaspoons. Same thing if you're in this bracket. These are all of the containers that you're going to be eating per day. Now guys, I know this doesn't look like a lot of food, but it is a lot of food, especially if you're coming from a plan where you're counting calories, or you're coming from, different diet plans that you've followed. It's super important that you get in all of your containers, right? Your body needs all this food in order for you to lose weight. I know that for a lot of us, we grew up thinking that, eat less and you're gonna lose a lot more, right? But honestly, guys, if you are starving your body is gonna hold on to the things it should be releasing, and it's gonna be releasing the things that you want to use as energy, right? So it's super, super important that you guys use these containers and use these calorie brackets and follow them to the T. So whichever calorie bracket you fall into before you start your plan, you are gonna continue on that calorie bracket through the remainder of your plan. For those 21 days or those 30 days, you are going to be in that one bracket. Again, guys, it's super important that you eat all of your containers. I will say that, you know, a lot of us come from a background of cutting carbs or thinking that fat causes you to be fat. Guys, the foods you are going to be eating on this plan are mostly natural foods, right? Most of them grow from the ground. Most of them organically happen on earth, right? These are not processed things. These are not things that contain lots of starchy carbs, things like that. So it's super important that you guys eat your carb containers. It's super important that you guys eat your fat containers. And guys, I will say that again, it's so important that you're eating all of your carb containers and all of your fat containers. I don't care what you've learned before this. You know, you need to be eating all of your containers. The only exception I have is, you know, if you're on a program like Shift Shop where it tells you to cut your carb containers, or if you're on a program like Core de Force where it tells you to up or down your fat containers. Guys, these are healthy fats. These are healthy carbs. They're things that your body needs to use as fuel, right? So in your meal guide, guys, it's gonna give you your calorie bracket. It's gonna give you your breakdown of how many containers you should be eating a day, right? And then it's gonna give you a breakdown of what these containers mean. So the first container we have is the vegetable container. So that's your green container right here. And guys, like, check it out. Like, these are all the different greens that go into this container, right? So if you don't like spinach, don't eat spinach. If you don't like broccoli, don't eat broccoli. Guys, find something on this list that you like and eat it, right? If you struggle with eating your vegetables, a great way to get it in, guys, is by putting it in your superfoods in the morning, or by making a giant salad to eat for lunch, right? Those are super easy ways to get in your green containers. And again, guys, like, this is your green container, and the way you measure out your foods is that you're actually gonna fill your green container and you're gonna put the lid on. If the lid closes, that is considered one serving of a green container, right? So if you fell into that first category, again, you should be eating I believe it was 3 green containers a day. So guys, so 3 green containers a day. So guys, again, like, that's 3 of these containers, right? So fill them up, put the lid on, you're gonna eat it, right? Totally your choice if you keep it in the container or if you put it in Ziploc bags. But again, guys, you are going to want to be eating all of your containers, right? And again, if you don't like cauliflower, don't eat cauliflower. If you don't like carrots, don't eat carrots. There is a long list of things that go into these containers, and I'm pretty sure you can find two to 5 things on the list that you like, right? So the next container is going to be your purple container. And guys, this is your fruit container, right? So again, this list goes from, you know, raspberries, strawberries, blackberries, all the way down to pineapples and bananas and figs and honeydew melon. So again, if you don't like bananas, don't eat bananas. If you don't like strawberries, don't eat strawberries. Guys, that's the beauty behind this portion control system, right? Is that you eat the foods that you love so you don't feel like you're on a diet. You don't feel like you're having to restrict yourself because you don't like that kind of stuff, right? So again, like, this is your purple container, and to get the proper portion size, you're just going to fill it up with the fruit that you want, close the lid, and that is 1 serving of your fruit. Your next container is going to be your red container. And guys, this container is super, super important. This is your protein, right? So as you work out, you're going to be breaking down your muscle and rebuilding it overnight. So it's super important that you get this container in. This is your red container, right? Now, protein ranges from different things as well. So we have things like sardines, which I don't like sardines, so you'll never catch me eating it, right? We've got chicken, we've got fish, we've got wild game, we've got eggs, we've got Greek yogurt, all kinds of stuff. Your Shakeology counts as a red container, right? So make sure that you guys are reading these lists, right? Again, if you don't like fish, don't eat fish. If you don't like wild game, don't eat wild game. Guys, it's totally up to you on what you eat. It's totally up to you what you put into these containers. And guys, again, you're going to want to fill your container up with whatever you're making, close the lid, and that's going to be 1 serving. There are certain things on this list like eggs, and it tells you 2 large eggs are 1 red container. So there's no need to put it inside of here, right? But again, like the things that don't, so like for instance, fish or chicken, you're gonna wanna put that in your red container, close your lid, and then pour it onto your plate to eat, right? So our next container is your yellow container. Again, guys, carbs are not the enemy. Carbs are not the devil. Carbs are good for you if you're eating the right kind of carbs, right? So when I say that carbs are not the devil, I'm not talking about like Dorito chips or white bread or any of that stuff, right? I'm talking about the healthy carbs, the ones that your body is going to burn for fuel, right? So you'll notice that you have sweet potatoes, quinoa, edamame, peas, corn, different things in here, pasta. Guys, you can still eat the things you like. You just want to eat the proper portions of it, right? So again, carbs are not the enemy, right? They are your friend. You need to eat carbs because your body uses carbs as energy. And I will say, guys, this is another reason why I want you guys to print out these lists because, guys, some of the things that are on these lists, we grew up as knowing as vegetables, right? So like a sweet potato is a vegetable, but in this plan, it counts as a carb, right? But again, it's a healthy carb. It's not one of those carbs that you're gonna eat and make you feel sluggish or make you feel bloated. It's gonna be one of those carbs that you eat, that your body burns for fuel and that you use for energy, right? So again, do not skip your carb containers. I know, I get it. I was one of those people, I used to cut carbs all the time because I was told that carbs are not good for you. But again, guys, it all depends on what kind of carbs you're eating, right? If you're eating the good carbs, they're great for you. If you're eating the bad carbs, of course you're gonna wanna cut those, right? So our next container that we have is your blue container, right? So this is your blue container, this is your healthy fats. Again, guys, do not cut your containers, right? This is a container that a lot of people struggle with. This is a container that a lot of people in the past I have seen have cut, and their results show it, right? Fats do not make you fat, okay? Fats are used in your body for energy and for fuel. So it's super important that you're eating fats in your diet, right? But again, guys, these are healthy fats. These are not fats that are gonna make you fat or make you hold on to weight or anything like that, right? And again, like this ranges from avocados to almonds, pistachios, hummus, feta cheese, different things, right? So you have this whole list right here to choose from. And again, guys, you're just gonna fill your blue container, put your lid on. That is your serving of fats, right? Most of our plans, you only eat 1 serving of fats. Again, do not cut your fat containers. I promise you guys, your results will show it, and it won't be the change that you want to see, right? So our next container is your orange container. These are your seeds and your dressings. So if you're a big salad person like I am, you may want to save this container for your dressing, right? If you're not a salad person, not a big deal. You can totally eat your orange container as a snack. It includes things like olives, peanuts, unsweetened coconut flakes, pumpkin seeds, and again, different dressings. So this is your orange container. Again, you're just gonna fill it up. You're gonna close the lid, and this is 1 serving of your orange container, right? Our last container that we have are our teaspoons. This is gonna be your nut butters and your oils. Guys, I know that this sounds so trivial, but this is something you're not gonna wanna skip, right? Even if you're having to lick 3 teaspoons of peanut butter off of your spoon at the end of the night. These things help things move through your body, right? Those nut butters, those things like the oils and stuff like that, right? They're healthy for you. They get pushed through your skin. They get pushed through your pores. These are good things for your body, right? A lot of us cook with coconut oil. So guys, that would count as your teaspoon, right? So, and again, this ranges from different things. So you have extra virgin olive oil. You've got extra virgin coconut oil, you've got different like walnut oil, pumpkin seed oil, different nut butters, so peanut butter, almond butter, cashew butter, and then different seed butters like pumpkin seed butter, sunflower seed butter, sesame seed butter, right? So these are all of the containers that you're going to be eating. And again, guys, it's so super important. I cannot stress this enough. It is so important for you to get your containers in, okay? I totally get that this is a huge change for a lot of people, especially if you come from a background of counting calories or restricting yourself from certain foods, you are going to want to learn to have a good relationship with food. And that's what these containers are going to do. They're going to make it fun. They're going to make it simple. They're going to literally change your life. Now, when I go out to dinner or when I go to a friend's house, I think of my food in containers, right? So what I do when I'm at home is that I fill up my containers, I close my lid, and when I go to eat it, I pour it onto my plate. So I know how big my portion sizes should be, right? 2 years into this, I don't need to use my containers anymore because I've used them so often that I know that 10 baby carrots are about 1 green container, right? 1 small apple is 1 purple container. But starting out, guys, I want you guys to use these containers, and I know it's going to feel silly. I know that it's going to feel weird. People may look at you, people may judge you, but guess what? Like, this is how you teach yourself proper portions. This is how you teach yourself how much of each food group and what kind of food you should be eating throughout your day. Guys, I was that girl that when I went out to restaurants, I brought my food containers with me. You don't have to be as extreme as that, but if you're trying to make a change, if you're trying to make this a lifestyle change, you're going to want to do everything that you can to make that possible. And if that means bringing your containers with you to family events or bringing your food containers to restaurants to measure out your food, guys, you have to do what you have to do, right? Now, moving on from the containers, I will say that these meal guides, guys, provide so much value. So make sure you read them. Don't just open them up and say, okay, these are my containers I need to eat. No, these meal guides have all kinds of good stuff in them, right? It goes over free food, so like your water bar stuff, different seasonings, different herbs, mustard, ginger, garlic, things like that, right, to season your food with. Those count as freebies. You don't have to use those as your containers, right, which is super awesome. It's also going to go into treats, right? So these are things that you're not going to eat these every day, but they're going to count as treat containers. And what you do is that you swap them out for a yellow container, which is your carb containers, right? So if you're one of these people that likes to drink milk, it's totally fine to drink milk, okay? But you're going to count that as a yellow container, right? I know that it's dairy. I know that, you know, whatever you've been told. But guys, these treat swaps are meant to help you live the lifestyle you want to live, right? They're meant to treat yourself so that you don't feel deprived. They're meant to provide you that extra snack or that extra treat so you feel like, okay, like I got this, right? Like I kicked butt and now I get to treat myself, right? So that includes things like water, coconut water, almond milk, different fresh juices, right? A lot of people like apple juice or orange juice. That includes that, right? And guys, like they have different things like dried fruit medley, chocolate chips or chocolate chunks, potato chips, right? Tortilla chips, chocolate covered raisins, things like that, right? They count as a yellow container. So guys, get used to using these containers, right? When it's my time of the month, sorry, TMI, I like to eat dark chocolate chunks, right? I go to the store, I buy the morsels, and I fill my container up, and I know, okay, I'm going to eat this today, and this is going to count as my yellow container, right? It's going to count as my carb. It also goes over different recipes. So the cool thing about all of our meal guides, guys, is that you have access to all of them, right? And all of our meal guides have different recipes, right? On top of that, you also have access to our Fix 8 cooking show, which is going to give you the breakdown of a lot of the recipes that are in our meal plans. It's going to actually show you how to make these things, and it's also going to give you the container count for them. So when you look through your meal guides, they have different recipes, right? So this meal guide particularly has different seasoning recipes, right? It's got different vegetable recipes, so if you want to make different vegetables, right? It's got different proteins, right? That's how this one breaks it down. So it shows you how to cook them. It shows you different recipes, different yellow container recipes, right? Like how awesome is that? Different dressings. Guys, I get questions a lot about dressings. Use the dressing recipes that are in the Fix 8 cooking show or that are in these meal guides. I promise you, like, they taste just as great as the store-bought ones, but they don't have all those junks and fillers in it, right? Going on, more recipes, right? Treat recipes, guys. Banana oatmeal cookies, thebomb.com, counts as a yellow container. Why not treat yourself, right? Again, oh my gosh, that looks so good. Chocolate peanut butter, snack bars, delicious, right? And then it's got Shakeology recipes, right? So it shows you what to make, how to make it. And again, guys, it gives you the portion size. So so this makes 1 serving, and that 1 serving is 1 red container, right? Going on, it still has some more stuff in the back. So this meal guide shows you restaurant foods, right? So this is to create a lifestyle. This is not a diet plan that you restrict yourself from, right? Of course, you're not going to be eating pizza every single night, right? But if you decide to have a date night, or you decide, look, I'm too tired, I want to order pizza for the kids, it's not the end of the world, right? If you check this out, it shows you. So a fourth of a 12-inch cheese pizza counts as a yellow container and an orange container. How bomb.com is that, right? Like, it gives you the breakdown. Sushi rolls. So sushi rolls with fish and veggies, 6 pieces, count as a yellow container, a red container, and a green container. Guys, this is super bomb.com because this allows you to go out with your friends, to go out with your man, to go out with your wife, right? And still have a good time without being like, oh, I can't eat that, right? And look, guys, like, you as an adult are going to have to make those decisions for yourself, but just know that the closer to the container system that you eat on, I promise you your results will show it, right? And then in the back of here, it just gives you some extra little resources like different meal plans, right? So it gives you different lunch options, different dinner options. It gives you tally sheets, if I can get to that in the back. Different tally sheets, right? And you can download these off the internet. I can post them in the group for you guys. Totally not a big deal. Guys, again, it is so super important that you learn to follow this container system, that you learn to love this container system, because it is going to teach you a lifestyle change, right? I will tell you guys, I eat cookies, I eat cake, I eat pizza, right? But I know that when I'm eating a piece of cake, this is my 1 serving size, right? I know that sounds crazy, but guys, our bodies are not made to eat the pieces of cake that we cut for ourselves, right? When you go to a restaurant, half the time they give you enough servings for 2 different meals, right? But they're not going to tell you that, right? Like, they want you to overindulge so that every time you come that you keep eating more and more, right? So super important that you guys follow these meal plans, that you follow the containers. If you guys have any questions whatsoever, please reach out. Please post in our lifestyle group. Please let us know what's going on. So I hope that helped you guys out. I hope that they gave you a little bit of insight into our containers. So I know that this video is getting pretty long, but really quick, I want to go over some grocery shopping tips with you, okay? Bear with me, guys. This is super important because a lot of us come from a background where we're used to counting calories or counting carbs or cutting this or cutting that, and a lot of us don't know how to grocery shop, right? I've been a coach for over 2 years now, and I have found that once I realized how I was grocery shopping wrong, and I made that change, the lifestyle just came with it, right? So the majority of the food that you're going to be eating are natural foods, okay? This plan helps you cut out processed food, helps you cut out the foods that are filled with chemicals and junk. And one way to be successful in this plan is to keep the foods in your house that you are going to want to eat, right, that are on the plan, and to prevent yourself from overbuying foods, right, that you're not going to eat or that you're going to throw out or that are just crap foods, right? Now, before I get into this, I will say, if you have kids, if you have a man friend, if you have a wife, whatever, and they are not eating on this plan, it is not okay to restrict them, right? And what I mean by that is that, you know, if your kids eat cookies with their lunch, buy them cookies, right? But put it on a shelf where you're not going to eat it. Or if your man likes to eat, I don't know, like frozen dinners or something, I don't know, like, it's okay. If that's the life choice he wants to make, buy him his frozen dinners. But guys, the more you get your family involved in this, the easier it is for you. I promise you that. So when you are going grocery shopping, what you need to do is that first and foremost, you need to sit down, you need to figure out what your meal plan is going to look like, right? You need to know what you're eating for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and the snacks in between. You need to know which containers you're eating each day so that you know what kind of foods to buy, right? How many times have we gone to the store and we buy a bunch of healthy foods and then by the end of the week, it's all like bad, right? That is because we're not eating the right portions. That is because we're overbuying portions. That is because we are wasting our time, wasting our money, trying to be healthy instead of living the lifestyle, right? So you're going to sit down, you're going to make your meal plan, and you're going to come up with a grocery list. Now, I urge you guys, even if you have people in your house that are not eating on plan, if they need special foods, put it on your grocery list, right? If it's not on your grocery list, you're not allowed to buy it, okay? What I mean by that is that if you catch something on sale, totally fine, but you are not going to go up and down every single aisle to make sure that you have everything that you need in your house. that part of your life is over with, okay? This is going to help you tremendously stay on track. This is going to help you tremendously save money on healthy foods, right? Eating healthier does not have to be more expensive. I promise you guys that, right? So you're going to come up with your grocery list and you're going to only buy what's on your list, right? So the way I make my grocery list is that I break it down by container. So I write green container, purple container, yellow container, red container, and I put my foods underneath those that I need to buy for the week, right? Now, my husband, even after 2 years of doing this, my husband does not eat on plan, right? He will eat the dinners I cook, but he is not about the healthy lifestyle just yet, which is fine. So before I go to the grocery, I always say, hey, honey, do you need anything from the grocery? And if he nonchalantly says, oh, yeah, I need some snacks, well, guess what snacks to me mean? Snacks to me mean like grapes and apples and cantaloupe and watermelon. So that's what I will buy for him, right? But if he says, hey, babe, I need Little Debbie's, I need like the zebra cakes, I'll buy those for him, right? But he has to tell me exactly what he wants. If it's just a general thing, then guess what? I'm going to buy the healthy options that he should be eating, right? And you will learn, guys, that this isn't unfair to your spouse. This makes your life so much easier, I promise you, right? And eventually your spouse and your kids will learn that, look, mommy's going to the grocery store or daddy's going to the grocery store, and if I want my snacks, I better tell them chocolate chip cookies, right? Because I don't want to eat grapes. I want chocolate chip cookies, right? And that's totally fine, guys. My house is full of foods that are not on my plan because my husband eats them, right? It's totally fine. Okay, so when you go to the grocery, guys, you're going to bring your list with you. And it doesn't matter if you live in New York, if you live in California, if you live here in Louisiana, whichever grocery store you go to, whether it's Walmart or Winn-Dixie or Whole Foods or Trader Joe's, it doesn't matter, right? As soon as you walk into the store, you're going to take an immediate right, okay? The reason why I tell you this is because most grocery stores are set up exactly the same, right? So you're going to take a right, and that's going to bring you to the produce section. That's going to bring you to all your fruits and vegetables. And you're going to make your way around the outer perimeter of the store. The reason for this, guys, is that, again, the majority of the foods that you're going to be eating are natural foods, right? They're whole foods. They're real foods, right? And you will see that in a grocery store, that is how things are set up. The living things, the things that need water, the things that need refrigeration are mostly on the outer perimeter of the store, right? So that should knock out the majority of your grocery list, right? So you're going to take a right. That's going to be your fruits and your produce. Then you're going to go down and you're going to find your meats, your proteins, right? You're going to find your dairy section, and your fats. And then once you're done shopping the outer perimeter of the store, that is when you're going to go up and down the aisles that you need to. Again, guys, you are not allowed to go up and down every single aisle, okay? If you have on your grocery list that you need cereal for your kids, no problem. Go get some cereal, right? If you have on your shopping list that you need peanut butter or tuna, right? Go down those aisles to get those things. But again, guys, you are not going to want to be in the grocery store winging it. You are not going to want to be in the grocery store going up and down every single aisle because, again, you're going to buy a lot of food that you're going to waste. You're going to overspend money, right? And then you're going to be like, well, this eating healthy thing is expensive. And it's really not, guys. My rule of thumb when I go grocery shopping is that fresh is always best, right? Which is the outer perimeter of the store. The second aisle that I go up and down is the frozen section, right? So fresh is always best, frozen is always second best, right? But when you're buying frozen foods, look at the ingredients. When you're buying any foods, look at the ingredients, right? Like what's the ingredients to a sweet potato? Right? There are no ingredients because it's only a sweet potato, right? What are the ingredients to raspberries? There are no ingredients, right? Because it's just raspberries. When you're buying frozen foods, it should be the exact same way, right? You're going to want to buy raspberries, frozen raspberries that only contain raspberries, right? You're going to want to buy frozen pineapple that only contains frozen pineapple. If it contains pineapple and sugar, you're going to want to stay away from that. It's just an added thing that you don't need in your body. Same thing when you're going up and down your aisles for your regular foods, right? So when you're shopping for instance, peanut butter, guys, your peanut butter should only contain peanuts, right? It shouldn't contain peanuts, salt, and oil, right? It should only contain peanuts. And I will tell you guys, shopping at Winn-Dixie and Walmart, I have been able to find brands that only contain peanuts, right? So guys, just be conscious of what you're buying in the grocery. Just be conscious of the ingredients, right? That's the important part of this lifestyle, is that you learn how to check for ingredients rather than convenience of, okay, well, this is a frozen dinner, I'm just gonna pop it in the microwave, right? Okay, so I hope that this helped explain the nutrition aspect of our meal plans. Again, guys, if y'all have any questions whatsoever, please feel free to reach out to me. Please feel free to reply to this email. Feel free to post in the lifestyle group. I'm super excited for you all to get started. If you need help with your meal plans, guys, again, post in the group, reach out to me. I'm here to help you, and I'm super, super excited for you and cannot wait for you to create this lifestyle that gets you results.